Yeah.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. But I know she ain't gon' wrong with shit. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you?
Looking at me all like you really want to do it. Try to put it on me to my black and bluish, you know. And with the wag, put you in the back of the mat.
Ah.
The record don't think it was something.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you?
Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week like always. I am super excited for today's video because I will be starting a brand new discography journey on my channel. Now, usually when I do these discography journeys, I select one artist and listen to their entire catalog of music, album by album, starting with their first one and then ending with usually their last one. This discography journey is going to be a bit different because not only am I doing one artist, I'm doing four, which I've never done before. And each week I will be alternating between the four artists. And it's called my Hot and Steamy and Sexy Discography Journey. Something along those lines. Hot, steamy, sexy, sweaty, whatever you want to call it. The reason being is because, at least where I live, it's very cold out. It's winter. It's miserable. I want to warm things up. I want to get hot and sweaty. I want to dance. I want to have some fun. So that's why I'm choosing to do this discography journey. Now, obviously, I will be listening to the Pussycat Dolls. I will also be listening to Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, and Shakira. So every week, I will be alternating between those four artists. I'm also really interested in digging into Latin pop a bit more on this channel. I've touched on it a couple times in prior videos from the last couple years, but I really want to delve further into Latin pop, so that's why I'm also doing Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, and Shakira. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, but when it comes to Enrique and Ricky and Shakira, I will only be listening to their English speaking albums. I won't be listening to their full Latin language albums. I don't know the Latin language. I don't know Spanish, so I feel like it's going to be difficult for me to really get into those albums, even though I do want to listen to them. So for now, I'm only going to be sticking to their English-speaking albums. But nevertheless, I'm still really excited to go on this discography journey. I'm so giddy and I can't contain myself right now. I'm just over the moon. Now in this video, I will be listening to the Pussycat Dolls, in particular their very first album, their debut album from 2005 called PCD. Now there are 12 tracks on the album and the album is 44 minutes. Even though this is a first listen video, I have heard 6 out of the 12 songs already because 6 out of the 12 songs were released as singles. So I have heard Doja, Beep, Wait a Minute, Stick With You, Buttons, and I Don't Need a Man, but the other 6 songs I haven't heard yet. The Pussycat Dolls were originally a burlesque cabaret act formed in 1995 by choreographer Robin Anton. Now there is a running gag when it comes to the Pussycat Dolls because when it comes to the vocals of the albums and the songs, the Nicole Scherzinger is typically the only one who ever sings. The other 4 girls do kind of sing once in a while. They're more so in the background. They kind of do the backing vocals, but they more so just do choreography and dance. But when it comes to the actual vocals of each of the songs, it's mostly done by Nicole Scherzinger. So the Pussycat Dolls is typically the Nicole Scherzinger show. And we kicked off the video with Doja, track number 1, and this song brings back so many fond memories, for me anyway. Takes me back to junior high, and this song was everywhere. This song was so popular, you have no idea. I mean, if you grew up during this time, you'll understand. I mean, you heard it all over the radio, people were singing it, and it's a great song. It's a great pop song. It's definitely the Pussycat Dolls' signature song. It's their most popular song, and it takes me back to when I was in the car with my mom and she would occasionally pick me up from school or drive me to school, or we would be driving somewhere to the grocery store, I don't know. And this song would come on the radio and she would turn up the volume, and as she was driving, she would she would get down to it. She would start moving her body. Of course, at the time, I don't know, 15 years old, so I was completely embarrassed, and it was just a lot of fun. So every time I hear this song, I actually think of my mom. When it comes to the lyrics and the story of the song, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's about this woman who's interested in this man who already has a girlfriend. So Nicole is hoping and praying that this man will leave his girlfriend for her. And Nicole is saying to herself, fight the feeling, leave it alone, leave it be, because if it ain't love, it just ain't enough to leave a happy home. So if it's not true love, then it's not worth it. I don't think the guy in the song is actually cheating on his girlfriend with Nicole. I think Nicole is kind of hoping that he does, because she does say in the song, I don't think she wants to share. I don't know, maybe the guy and Nicole did hook up just once when he was in a relationship with the other girl. But Nicole came to the realization that it's not going to be a thing. He's going to go back to his girlfriend and they're going to stay a couple. And Nicole just has to accept that. Maybe next lifetime, possibly. Until then, old friend, your secret is safe with me. Now, it does say that the song was initially offered to Paris Hilton, which, I don't know, to me, this does sound like a Paris Hilton song lyrically. It definitely sounds like a song she could have pulled off. But Paris did say that she was not impressed with the track. That's why she rejected it. And she said, I think I did hear the song, but not in the format that we all came to know and love. If I had heard that, of course, I would have jumped at the chance. I actually haven't listened to Paris Hilton's debut album yet. I've heard a few songs from that album, but I haven't heard the whole thing in full. So I don't know, maybe down the line I'll do a first listen album review video of Paris Hilton's debut album. That would be a lot of fun. It does say here that Billboard ranked the Pussycat Dolls as the 80th most successful music act of the 2000s, and the Pussycat Dolls have sold 55 million records worldwide, making them one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. Number one is obviously the Spice Girls, then the Andrews Sisters, which I don't think I've ever heard of them before, and then TLC, of course, and then AKB48, which I don't think I've heard of them before. They are from Japan. And then they're followed by Destiny's Child, and then the Pussycat Dolls. But anyway, let's move on to track number 2, Beep, featuring will.i.am.
It's funny how a man only thinks about the you got a real big heart, but I'm looking at you. Keep looking at my, cause it don't mean a thing if you're looking at my.
Yes! It's all coming back to me. Already, that was track number 2, Beep with will.i.am. And this is another song that's giving me strong nostalgia vibes. And it's so much fun. I personally do think it is a clever song, how they intentionally bleep out the explicit words when they say, it's funny how a man only thinks about the bleep. You got a real big heart, but I'm looking at your bleep. I mean, we're only 2 tracks into the album so far, and there's definitely a lot of sexual innuendo happening. These are very sexual songs. So I can see why some people or a lot of people would call these songs trashy. But they're a lot of fun. I think these are great pop songs. But anyway, let's move on to track number 3, Wait a Minute, featuring Timbaland. Ha! I'm not one of these hoes. Maybe you are a hoe.
Wait a minute, yeah, you can give me that back.
Okay, that was track number 3. Wait a minute with Timbaland, and I feel dirty. I feel like after this video, I need to have a long, cold shower. He only wants me for my body zone. Wait a minute, girl, why you do me like that? You take all my money, can't even call a player back. So it looks like this guy is showering Nicole with all these gifts, all these expensive gifts, and the jewelry and the money. But Nicole is saying that I don't need all those things. I don't need your money. I don't need your jewelry. But the guy is saying how she's just taking all his money and all his jewels. And she's just leaving him with blue balls, essentially. Drop down his jeans like I'm supposed to drop to my knees. Oh. This song is a lot dirtier than I remember it to be. Even tracks number 1 and 2. I don't know, maybe because I'm actually reading the lyrics this time. I won't lie though, the guy in the song does sound a little douchey to begin with, a little bit of a player. So I don't know, I don't really feel bad for him. I also don't feel bad for her. Now it does say that the song was co-written by Carrie Hilson. Whatever happened to Carrie Hilson? She was actually pretty popular in the later half of the 2000s. Some of the songs she put out, like that song with Kanye West, Knock You Down. I remember that song was really popular, and then she kind of just faded out. But anyway, let's move on to track number 4, Stick With You.
I don't wanna go another day. Seems like everybody's breaking up and throwing their love away. Hey, nobody gonna love me better. I'ma stick with you forever. I'ma stick with you, my baby. See the way we're riding our private lives, ain't nobody getting in between. Ain't nothing else I can need. I'm with you, baby, I'm with you. You know I appreciate it. I'ma stick with you, my baby. I'ma stick with you.
Okay, that was track number 4, Stick With You, and I really enjoy this song. I think it's one of the better songs on the album out of the 4 tracks I've listened to already. And it makes me feel good inside. The song is pretty self-explanatory. She's saying, seems like everybody's breaking up and throwing their love away, but I know I got a good thing right here. That's why I say, hey, nobody gonna love me better. I'ma stick with you forever. Nobody gonna take me higher. I'ma stick with you. You know how to appreciate me. I'ma stick with you, my baby. Nobody ever made me feel this way. This song is the complete opposite of track number 3, Wait a Minute, and even tracks number 2 and 1. Um, uh, it's very pleasant to listen to, and I really enjoyed it. I also really enjoy the production on this track as well. I've also been thinking about the first 3 tracks on the album, Don't Ya, Beep, and Wait a Minute, and there's a sense of female empowerment on this album, especially tracks number 3 and 2. Track number 3, Wait a Minute, she's telling this guy, I'm not taking your money, I don't want your jewels, I don't want your things, I don't need you, so stop saying that I'm using you, I'm just using you for your money. And when I say I don't want something, or say that I don't want to have sex with you, don't call me a bitch, and don't call me these things, um, don't say that I'm just using you. I mean, I've never been in a long-term heterosexual relationship, so I don't know what the dynamic is between a man and a woman in a relationship, so that's kind of new territory for me. And in track number 2, Nicole is saying how it's funny how a man only thinks about the bleep and you got a real big heart by looking at your bleep. I mean, there's lots of serious things being discussed on this album, even though it is frivolous pop music. It's quite dirty and explicit at times, but she is talking about female empowerment, and she is touching on serious things that females experience every day. How when they're working with a man or just strangers on the street, they'll not really pay attention to what you're saying, I mean, I'm not a woman, so this is just from what other women have said, how they don't look at you like a human being. They just look at you for your tits and your body. They don't care about what you have to say. They just want you for your appearance and your looks and the shorter skirts and the cleavage showing. I am gonna play devil's advocate just quickly though and say that you can't blame a man for looking at your chest and your legs and your stomach when you choose to show those things off. You have every right to dress the way you want. And this goes back to a controversial statement how men will say, I can't believe I'm saying this, but a lot of men will say that if you don't want to be raped, don't dress that way, which is a horrible statement to make. Women should be able to dress the way they want without men attacking them and men sexually assaulting them. So that shouldn't be an issue, but it is. Unfortunately, men do say that. Women should be free to dress however they want and to feel safe doing so. But also, if you choose to show off your body that way, don't be surprised when men look at you a certain way, because even I do it, you know? A woman might be talking to me and her chest is, it's quite voluptuous. She has the legs out. It's definitely a double standard because men can take off their shirts, they can expose their chest and appear very sexualized in the way they look, and yet people will just compliment them on their body. They don't have to risk the fear of being sexually assaulted. Women and gay men will look at their body, appreciate their body, and they'll say, oh, your body's so hot, but they don't really have to fear being called certain names. They'll be called a hunk, and you're sexy, you're gorgeous. But a woman, if she does it, if she wears the short skirts and exposes a little bit of her cleavage and her stomach, she is ridiculed, she's called a slut, she's called a skank, and it's a horrible double standard. So this is something I probably shouldn't be talking about because who am I to talk about something like this? I'm not a woman, so I don't know what that feels like. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. So I do apologize if I sound ignorant on the subject. I'm kind of telling you guys what I think and what I've heard from women and what I've read when it comes to women talking about subject matter like this. That was a rabbit hole I was not expecting to fall down. This is why I like doing these videos, because we can have conversations like this. And who knew I would talk about something like that listening to the Pussycat Dolls? I mean, who knew? So please leave a comment in regards to what I just said, and maybe you can share your input about what I just said and maybe correct me on the certain things I've said. And I do apologize if what I said maybe offended you or I sounded ignorant, but I'm trying to work with what I have, being a man, and trying to see it from a woman's point of view. But anyway, let's move on to track number 5, Buttons.
I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, baby, but you keep frontin'. Typical and hardly the type of bubble I like when the fizz is cold. Told ya, but I ain't seen none. You say you're a big boy, but I can't agree. I wonder, I'm just too much for you, wonder. I'm about to blow, I don't think you know. I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, baby. Loosen up my buttons. I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, baby.
Okay, that was track number 5, Buttons, and this song is a hot, and I remember the music video. I actually vaguely remember the music video to this song. I remember parts of it. I just remember it being very sexy. And Snoop Dogg. Obviously Snoop Dogg wasn't included on the album version of the song. But I still love the song. I feel like it's one of the better songs on the album so far. It's a very popular Pussycat Dolls song, just like Don't Ya. I also loved the production on this song and the beat and just everything about it. Out of all the songs I've listened to so far, the production on this song is probably my favorite. And the song is pretty self-explanatory. She's wanting this guy to loosen up her buttons. But he's kind of shy and he's a little unsure. He might be nervous. But this woman, Nicole, she knows what she wants and she's a very sexually liberated woman. and she doesn't have time for these timid little boys. She needs a man. I'm a sexy mama who know how to get what I wanna. You've been saying all the right things all night long, but I can't seem to get you over here to help take this off. So this guy, it looks like this guy's all talk, but no game, because he's been talking her up, and now when it comes to actually being intimate and taking her clothes off, undoing the buttons, he's shy and he can't do it. Maybe he's gay. Sorry, Nicole, maybe this guy's just gay and he was just really drunk and intoxicated, and maybe he's bi-curious, who knows. I can see, just like most guys, that your game don't please. Baby, can't you see? I mean, just from looking at the album artwork, you could tell that these are confident, strong women. They aren't timid, and they just seem to be very sexually liberated. So now let's move on to track number 6, I Don't Need a Man.
So you're looking at me like I got some things for you. The more you try, the less I bite. I don't need a man, make it happen. I get up, break it free. I don't need a man, make it happen. I get up, break it free. I don't need a man, I don't know. I don't know how to make it through. I don't need a man. I don't need a man.
Okay, that was track number 6, I Don't Need a Man, and this is the quintessential anthem for women who just broke up with their man, and this gives them the power to move on, saying, I don't need a man, I don't need you, a good riddance. I don't need a man. This song is for all the independent women out there who are career driven and they know what they want, and they know what they want in a significant other. I don't need a man to feel good. I don't need a man to help me financially. I can do it on my own. I mean, this is a female empowerment song, even a female empowerment album in ways, and I always enjoy this song. I think it's a great song. She can also get off when you ain't around. So who needs a man when you have a drawer filled with vibrators and dildos? I mean, I don't know what that feels like. I mean, I don't have a drawer filled with vibrators, but dildos, that's another story. What? I didn't say that. I mean, I'm talking about things in this video that I didn't think I would be talking about. Dildos and vibrators. Leave a comment. Tell me if you have a drawer filled with dildos and vibrators. You don't need a man to satisfy you. Actually, don't leave a comment telling me. Please don't. I'm joking. So now we're gonna move on to track number 7, and now we're entering the part of the album where it's completely brand new for me. I haven't heard the next 6 songs on the album, tracks 7 through 12, so these songs are completely brand new to me. So let's kick it off with track number 7, Hot Stuff, Want You Back.
But I won't give in. Let you go.
This is a very 80s sounding song. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's the Hot Stuff song. Oh.
The love in your eye. Yeah. I don't know. Gotta have it love. Looking for your hot stuff, baby, I need it. Looking for your hot stuff, baby, tonight.
Okay, that was track number 7, the Hot Stuff, Want You Back. The spritzer bottle is coming out. Yes, that was great. I loved the production. It was very 80s and also very disco-ish, and it was great. Like, I would be disappointed if this track was released as a single. I feel like this could have been a single. I really liked it. Now, obviously, they sampled Hot Stuff by Donna Summer in this track, And it's a hot song. I don't really have much to say about it other than it's great. It's great to dance to. It really does raise the temperature of your body, and I'm hot and steamy right now, and I'm enjoying it. We're also continuing the theme of not needing a man or a significant other. I've got to let you go, go, go. Now I see you were never meant for me. Looking for your hot stuff, baby, I need it. I don't know where the river flows, but now I'm free. I'm not gonna go down again, looking for your hot stuff. So now let's move on to track number 8, How Many Times, How Many Lies.
But I was hearing nothing when they said you was just playing me. How many times, how many lies? Filling over everyone that knew when they knew you was just bad news. But so many times, there were so many lies. I don't know why I stayed around. How many times, how many lies?
Already, that was track number 8, How Many Times, How Many Lies, and this was a good song. I liked it. It's definitely, in my opinion, the most R&B sounding track on the album, and I liked how it was written by Diane Warren. I love Diane Warren. She's such a fantastic songwriter. She's written so many great songs. I also really enjoyed the production on the track, in particular the harmonica. I think it was the harmonica. It is a pretty straightforward song. She's saying, how long you been creeping around, how many lies, how many times were you here deceiving? While I was here believing in you, I gotta put the blame on myself. So obviously this guy was sneaking around, he was being unfaithful, and she didn't know. She was believing him and his lies, and she has no one to blame but herself, and she's frustrated over it, so she's torn up all the pictures and broke all the records and so on and so forth. I should have thrown your sad ass out, but now the game is through. I'll never trust in you. I finally got wise. I opened up my eyes. If there is a bright side to a situation like this, for anyone who's experienced something like this where someone was unfaithful and you believed them and they screwed you over and you had to kick them out, one shed of light in a situation like this is that you learn from your mistake and you grow from it, you mature from it, you become more wise so that it doesn't happen to you again. So it sucks that it happened, but also builds you up and makes you stronger. So when something like this does happen in your life, take it with a grain of salt and realize that perhaps it just wasn't meant to be, and it's life's way of trying to steer you in the right direction, and life's way of trying to teach you a lesson and to make you stronger and more wise. That's not to say it doesn't suck, it hurts, and it's horrible, and it's such a crappy situation, but at least how I look at it is I always try to look on the bright side of things, and I always try to think about how life is just trying to teach me a lesson, and life is just trying to guide me in the correct direction and try to guide me down the right road. So this situation wasn't meant to be. It wasn't the right road I was supposed to go down. So life is trying to steer me down the right road. But anyway, let's move on to track number 9, Bite the Dust. Already, that was track number 9, A Bite the Dust, and this is another self-explanatory song. There is this woman coming for Nicole's man, and Nicole is saying that she's gonna have to deal with me. She's got a plan to have my man. But sugar, I got him. Got 20/20 vision. I can see that you want my man. But sugar, I got him. So this other woman is not going to get her man. She's very defensive. This man is her property, and she ain't gonna let any woman come between her and her man. And what's really interesting is that this is kind of the complete opposite of track number one, Don't Ya? How Nicole was interested in this man, and she was trying to make his girl jealous of her by saying, "Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?" So now Nicole has the man, and she's saying to the other girl, "You can't have him." So it's almost like Nicole is now the woman in the relationship with the man, and now this woman has taken Nicole's place of trying to get her man, if that makes sense. I will say though, tracks number 8 and 9 haven't been as memorable as the first half of the album. Tracks number 1 through 6, I'll even say tracks 1 through 7, I'll throw in Hot Stuff, Want You Back as well, but tracks number 8 and 9, in my opinion, just aren't as good as the first 7 tracks on the album. I'm really hoping we're not entering filler territory here, because the first half of the album was so good that I'm hoping these tracks on the second half aren't filler tracks. And this is another song co-written by Carrie Hilson, and I did like it. I like the build-up to the chorus in the song. I like the production, but I just don't feel like it's as good as the first half of the album. It definitely does continue the theme of the album of female empowerment. You can't come between me and my man. Back off, bitch. Get away. So now we're gonna move on to track number 10 right now.
Right now, let me take you by the hand. Baby, don't you leave me at the post. You have set my soul on fire. Right now, stars can stumble from the blue. Right now. Right now.
Ooh. Okay, that was track number 10 right now, and I was not expecting that. Wow, it was very jazz inspired, and I loved the production. The production was great. I do like jazz music, so and there was something about Nicole's voice on this track that was kind of reminding me of I don't know, Barbra Streisand. I am curious to know if this is a cover. I don't think it's an original Pussycat Dolls song. I could be wrong, so I have to look into it. It does say here that Right Now is an up-tempo 1962 jazz pop song with music by Herbie Mann and lyrics by Carl Sigman. I will say though, even though I did enjoy the track, it just seemed a little random. This track does seem a little out of place on the album, so I don't know why they chose it. It's a great song, but I'm just a little confused as to why they chose this particular song. In my opinion, it's definitely the black sheep of the album. But anyway, let's move on to track number 11, Tainted Love.
Run away, I've got to get away. Take my tears and let's
I don't like it. I'm really sorry, but I have to fast forward the song. I don't like it. Let me reiterate, I like the song, but I don't like the Pussycat Dolls rendition of it. Oh, it looks like it's a medley track because it says Tainted Love / Where Did Our Love Go? But it doesn't say that on the album. It says it on the Wikipedia page, so I actually have to go back to the track. I still don't like it. Okay, whatever. It's definitely my least favorite track on the album so far, and the version of the track that I know best is the soft cell version, which to me, I was gonna say it's the best version of the song, but it also says that the song was originally recorded by Gloria Jones, which I don't think I've heard the Gloria Jones version. I might have. But the version of the song I'm most familiar with is the soft cell version, and the Pussycat Dolls version just pales in comparison. It's not very good at all. I also felt like the transition into Where Did Our Love Go was pointless. Now, obviously, Where Did Our Love Go is a song originally recorded by the Supremes, and It was cute, I guess, the Pussycat Dolls version. It was cute to listen to, but I just feel like it was very unnecessary and it just felt like a filler track. Other than that, I don't have much to say about it, so let's just move on to track number 12, Feeling Good.
Flying high, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn and a new day and a new life for me. I'm feeling good.
Okay, that's enough. I feel really bad. I mean, why? It's a great song, don't get me wrong. And Nicole sounded great on the track, but why this track? I mean, if I was a 15-year-old girl or a 15-year-old gay boy and I bought this album and I was jamming out to the first half and then I came to a track like this, Feeling Good, I would just instantly skip over it. I mean, the people who were buying this album at the time, teenagers, wouldn't listen to a song like this, Feeling Good. They would listen to songs like Don't Ya, the first half of the album, Buttons, and what have you. They wouldn't listen to songs like Right Now and even Tainted Love and Feeling Good. Now, obviously, Feeling Good is a song from 1964. It says here that the song was originally written for the musical The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd. Oh. I'm sorry, but this second half of the album was just... I was not impressed by it. It's almost like they knew people wouldn't listen to the songs past the first half of the album because that's where all the juicy, catchy songs are, all the great songs. And I just feel like this second half of the album was left in the dust. So that is all 12 tracks of PCD by the Pussycat Dolls. And this was a great pop album, the first half anyway. I mean, catchy bangers, just banger after banger, and there were 6 singles released from this album, and I can see why. The production was great as well. The vocals, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to the vocals. I mean, this album isn't known for the vocals, it's known for the catchy beats and the catchy melodies. And the lyrics. And speaking of the lyrics, this was a very scandalous album, very sexual and explicit and sexy, a little trashy in parts, I'm not gonna lie, but it was a lot of fun. I also loved the themes of female empowerment and independence and sticking to your guns, not letting a man control you and your life, not relying on a man for money or comfort, or not relying on a man to tell you that you look good, and also not letting a man degrade you and call you names because you don't want to be intimate with him, or just standing up for yourself, just being a strong, independent woman. I mean, this is definitely one of the most female liberated albums I've listened to in quite a while. I'm just very disappointed in the second half of this album. It was lazy, to me, it was a little pointless. So what did you guys think of the album? What are your thoughts? And what are your favorite tracks from the album? Maybe you enjoyed the second half of the album. Tell me why. But for me, it was a no-go. It does say here that the album received favorable reviews. But overall, the reviews for the album weren't very good. They were either just downright horrible or mediocre. A lot of 3 out of 5s, 1 out of 5, 1.5 out of 5, unfavorable. Obviously, people called it hypersexualized with their image and very sexy. But anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say on the album. And in my next Pussycat Dolls video, we'll be moving on to their last studio album. They only put out 2 albums, and their last album was released back in 2008, so Doll Domination is what I will be listening to. And then after that, I will be listening to Nicole Scherzinger's first solo album. I think she's only ever put out 1 solo album, so to wrap up this Pussycat Dolls Journey, I will be listening to Nicole Scherzinger's album as well. So look out for those videos in the future, and thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from a decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlists, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.